Hi there. If you have reached your estimated due date and you're hoping and praying this baby is going to come very, very soon, and you're getting worried about induction, or lots of people are pressurizing you for induction and everyone's clock watching, and that's making you nervous, and you don't want an induction because you want as natural a birth as possible. My tips would be, firstly, to remember that an estimated due date is just that, it is estimated, and that can be give or take 2 weeks. So when my advice would be to not give anybody an estimated due date. You can give them an estimated month window. But if they've got a date in their head and you're feeling under pressure, or you're getting anxious yourself just because you don't know how this baby is ever going to arrive, then just bear in mind that the estimated due date is estimated, and it can vary according to your cycle of ovulation, how long your cycle was. It's a generalized guess at best, and only you can really know what's going on in your body. And so you just need to shut out all the external noise and pressure and baggage and fear-mongering maybe, and you need to tune in to yourself, your body, your baby. And there are a few things that that you could try to speed things up. Some say that raspberry leaf tea, pineapple, curries will do the trick. How much you'd actually have to drink or eat of any of those, or whether there's any truth in it, I don't know. But if you're desperate, my guess is you're probably going to want to try it. However, there are 2 things or 3 things that I would strongly recommend. One, in fact, all of these I can vouch for myself twice over. One is laughter, and this is laughter releases oxytocin, which is the love hormone. It's the hormone of birth, and it just relaxes you. And when you've shut all those tensions away of everybody else pressurizing you, and you can relax, that's going to help just get things started. But yes, laughter, go and hook up with a friend, or if you're lucky enough to have a partner who makes you giggle, do that. For me, my first experience of when I was first pregnant, I had actually quite a serious and quite earnest independent midwife that time. And it was actually her backup midwife who came for the very first visit. She had me crying with laughter. We were talking about sex positions because that was one of her top tips, and the next one I was going to get on to, for getting things started. And my gosh, she had me howling, and she was telling me about her son. So if you've got somebody who makes you giggle, great. If you haven't, stick on some comedies or something. Get laughing. So to come to my midwife's technique, then the second one would be to get intimate with your partner. Semen contains prostaglandin, which softens and ripens the cervix, which is the first thing that needs to happen. Your cervix needs to start softening and opening for the childbirth process to start. I don't like using the word labour. And so, provided that your waters haven't broken, a bit of nookie. It's got to be better than a shot of synthetic oxytocin, which is going to undermine the whole cycle of natural hormones and interplay. If your waters have broken, then you really shouldn't have penetrative sex. You don't want the semen going inside once that's happened. But so laughter and sex, and another good one for releasing oxytocin is eye-to-eye contact. So if you feel comfortable with that with your partner, or even one of your children, getting really bonded like that is going to release the love hormones and the bonding hormones, and that's all going to help start. Trying to think what else there is. Yeah, of course, mindset. So I'll tell you a little story about this. I had a friend of mine who was doing her house up, as many people do when they're expecting a baby. Suddenly we move house, or we want to put that extension in, or suddenly decorate the whole place and live in a building site for the whole pregnancy. Anyway, that's what she had been doing. And she had gone over her due date. And she was talking to me about it and getting a little bit worried. It turns out, just slipped in conversation, that she had no back door. They hadn't fitted the back door yet, and that wasn't due. And I said to her, I guarantee you, put that back door on and this baby will come. And lo and behold, it did, within a day. If you think that when you give birth, you need to feel private and safe and unobserved, and so even though she wasn't actually planning to give birth at home, she was planning on a birth centre, which was really, really close to her. But obviously, you know, the labour starts at home, and so her home was open to any intruder, and it certainly wasn't safe, and it certainly wasn't private, so not conducive at all. So we're mammals, and we need to bear that in mind when it comes to birth. So if you can relate to that, and there's some unfinished business, even if it's not that you don't have a door in your property, just kind of an extreme example of this. You know, maybe you've got a piece of work that you need to finish, or you haven't finished making the nursery, or whatever it is, then, you know, either deal with it or deal with it in your head, so that you can feel ready to give birth, just mentally. And there was one other thing. I'm going to pause it while I think of it. Oh yes, of course. No, I don't need to pause it. Yes. So acupuncture is another good one. So if you really are desperate, go and book yourself an acupuncture appointment, and that can often help get things moving. So I hope that's helped, and just trust. You know that people the window for giving birth can be between 38 and 42 weeks with no pressure for induction. I strongly urge you, if you can, resist the pressure for induction. It's going to make life so much harder and not so enjoyable for you. And so really, if people are talking to you about it, if your medical professionals are trying to book you in, just in case, this is what I experienced way before my due date. I was going to have a discussion or book an appointment, I think, I can't remember now, but that's their interest. It's their booking system. It's not in your interest, and it's not your agenda, okay? So just shut it out. Say, thank you so much, but I'm not going to do that. This is what I want, and I'm prepared to wait until 42 weeks. If you get to that point, I have read stories of people going to 43 weeks and it being fine, but you'll be told that there are concerns about the placenta not being quite as efficient beyond 42 weeks. Again, listen to your body, and if the vital signs of the baby are fine, then all is well. You are the best person to know. But really, please, I urge you, don't panic up until that point, even though you might be thinking, dear God, how is this baby ever going to get out if it gets any bigger? He or she are still packing their bags, or you're not mentally in the right place for this to be happening. So either you let them pack their bags, or if it's your head space, sort it out. And if you need any help from me, that is where I excel. So thank you for watching. I hope it's helped. Bye. This is Rebecca from Syntonic Birth.